Hey everyone, it's Mari Clark, and I have a 12 by 12 process here for you today. I'm mostly going to be using the Chasing Dreams collection from Maggie Holmes with a few other little bits and pieces of some other things from my stash mixed in. So I'm starting out with a piece of white textured cardstock, and I'm going to just use a little bit of distress ink on my background. So I'm going to use this stencil that's kind of like a sunburst, and I'm going to just use some scattered straw distress ink and a distress tool just to apply this distress ink down to this white paper and just kind of create the impression of some sunbeams or some sun rays, which will come down to the focal point, which is the photograph that I'm going to be using for this layout. So I'm just going to get that ink down there fairly lightly. I'm not applying this too darkly onto the layout. It's actually just fairly faded looking, and I just like how it just gives the impression of those rays of the sun. So you'll be able to see that when I take that stencil off, and you can see how that looks. And voila, there it is. I like that. I like it how it looks. I think it just kind of creates a nice base for parts of the layout. I really like using stamps and stencils and mixed media on my layouts. I don't always get to doing that and using those things, but I really do like to use them on layouts when I have a chance to. So that's what I felt like doing here for this layout today. Now this is a My Favorite Things stamp called Roses All Over, and it is a gorgeous stamp. And I'm just going to be taking more distress ink this time. I think, I can't remember what color this is. You guys can probably see that better on the screen. It might be Salty Ocean, but I kind of forget which color this is. Sorry, I'll put that on a caption on this screen when I finish editing the video. So I just really like the addition of that really light bit of stamping in the background, and the color is really super pretty, and it looks really nice with the blues that are going to be in this picture and the blues that are in the Chasing Dreams collection. Sorry for my voice, I'm kind of a little bit hoarse today. So I am now just going to take my ATG gun and add a little bit of adhesive to that and stick it down to this piece of pattern paper that has diamonds on it. And this is a paper from an Alison Craft Webster's Pages collection, I think, from a while back. It's really pretty, and it goes nicely with the theme of the layout today. So I'm going to show you the picture. There it is. So my daughter got engaged last week, and it was lots of big excitement around our house, that's for sure. So she and her fiance, it's hard to get used to saying that, were in Cuba, and they got engaged while they were there. So it was really exciting. So I'm just showing you the 6x6 paper pad that I'm using here from Chasing Dreams, and I'm just going to do some basic matting with a couple of papers from that collection, just with that little blue polka dot, just to bring the blue into the mat, and also the pinks. And then I really love this heart vellum paper from my stash. That's from Crepe Paper, a Valentine's collection from a couple years ago, and I'm going to use that as the first layer on my mat. So I just really love this photograph. Brady had a photographer hired for the big moment, and all of the proposal and everything was caught on camera, and it's just absolutely beautiful, and it's like a little fairy tale story. He did such a great job of this for Bailey. It was just beautiful, and just a really nice little story that went along with the proposal and how everything happened. And I got a FaceTime phone call last week, and a big surprise, and yeah, it was just very lovely, and we're so super happy for them. So I'm just going to take the edges of the paper and distress them, and just to give them a little more texture on the layout, just to create a little bit more dimension overall and some interest. And I'm going to just stick that down now, and then I'm just going to start to do a little bit of embellishing. So there's not a lot of craziness with this layout. I didn't do a ton of of detail on it. It's pretty simple, but I think it's elegant, and I like how it's just kind of classy looking, and it's nice with this photograph. I'm just going to go around and texture the edges just by lifting them up a little bit and just dress those edges a little bit more, just tearing them a little bit here and there. I just like how that looks, and it matches up with the photo mat as well, because the mat on the photo layers there has that distressing on it as well. Now I just, on my silhouette, just took some pink, really pretty light pink glitter paper, and I cut out this cut file that says "Marry Me" on it. The Silhouette store has a sale right now on all of their Valentine's, engagement, and wedding cut files, so you can get a good deal on those different files. And so I just really like that as a title. And that now I'm just going to take some of the ephemera, the die cuts from the Chasing Dreams collection, and do a little bit of embellishing. That ring is also from the Silhouette store, and same thing, that was on sale also, because it's obviously it's in, well, it could be an engagement cut file. And I just like that. I wanted to bring that glitter into that cluster at the photo there, and now I'm just going to work on that cluster up in the top corner. So just doing some really basic layering here, nothing too fancy. And I stuck a couple of staples in here and there just to add a little bit more texture. And I just took a heart punch from my stash and cut some hearts out of that glitter paper again. And I'm just going to stick a couple of little glittery hearts in some of the cluster areas to bring that glitter into all three areas, the title area and the two clusters. And I'm just going to take that chipboard You and Me, that's actually from the Gather collection. And I've got that really sweet little puffy cloth heart from the Chasing Dreams collection on that cluster on the photo as well, which those little puffy hearts are so sweet. Yeah, so I'm just going to add a little pop dot in behind that chipboard piece just to lift it up a little bit. And I am going to maybe just add one more little phrase sticker that says XO on it. And you can see I've added some gold splatters as well, and the layout is going to be finished. I do have some close-up shots of the layout at the end, and that is going to be my layout for today. Really simple, really quick, nothing too fancy, but it does the job, and I think it's really elegant, and it really does showcase this gorgeous picture of these two kids and their happy moment. So that's about it for my layout today, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time on my channel. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.